Couch Guy Sports Podcast, episode number 136. Nick Quaglia, no Jared Scally this week, and he's not being a bitch. I know I go after him a lot when he can't do it, but he's got shit to do. Tonight, we just couldn't get on the same page. There was a lot of stuff going on this week. But we got another guy on the Couch Guy Sports Network, Into the Triangle podcast. Blogger, one of the better, and I'm going to give you a compliment. Don't let it go to your head. One of the better bloggers on the website. Alan, and I know I get this wrong every time, Nahigian.
You got it. What a compliment.
Yeah!
What an introduction. What an introduction by Nick Quaglia. Quags, it's always a pleasure to come on with you. Always great to be on with you. Let's roll into it.
We don't get you on the show enough because usually I just text Connor, go, do you want to come on the show? But I know Connor's going to text me after he sees that you were on the show, and he's like, oh, why did you text me? I'm like, Connor, you can't be on the show every freaking time.
Well, that's your fault. I mean, you can text me more, but you make the calls. This is your podcast.
Yeah,
you make the calls.
You don't text me. Yeah, but Connor's also a friend from home, so Connor's all over me all the time.
Hey. In my defense, it's almost like I'm working under you. So if I just text you, I'm like, hey man, what's up? And also in my defense, you don't get back to me sometimes for like 3 days.
Oh my God, I know.
Yes.
No, I know. I'm saying, yeah. Talk to Jared. I do it to Jared all the time. I do it to everybody all the time. My text.
Jared's not great either, so you're in the clear for now.
I know. Yeah, I know Jared's not great. And then he gives me crap, and I give him crap. And when I give him crap, he gets mad at me for giving him crap. I'm like, Jared, we both do it to each other. But the worst part about Jared, he has an Android, so you never know if like it was delivered. And I'm the best. Like I don't like if you're not answering me, especially if you have an Android, I don't know if it's delivered, I will hammer away at like an hour later, like, yo, what's up? Hey, answer me. Hey,
Wait, are you sure about that? Because I'm looking at my text conversation with Jared, and it looks like he's got some iPhone text messages in there, so I don't know.
iPhone?
I think he has an iPhone.
I didn't notice, because he definitely had an Android.
I believe it, but when I'm looking at the conversation, yeah, I think he's got an iPhone. He actually texted me tonight about recording Into the Triangle, but, typical Jared. Doesn't get back when I send him something, ask him a question.
Classic. Oh, my God, he does have an iPhone now. Well, I guess, well, either way, no read receipts, although I don't even like read receipts.
Oh, read receipts are the worst, especially when you're texting somebody and you need something important and you know they read it and they leave you on read. Well, that is probably
the biggest insult.
Oh, it's the worst feeling in the world.
That's why I don't have them, because if I read it, I do this awful thing, and I know it's awful. I do it constantly. I read a text message and go, yeah, I'll text him back in a few minutes, and I won't get back for days. And I'll just be sitting there. It's been like 2 weeks later or like a week later. Like I'll see somebody's name, or like I'll just be sitting there thinking, and I'll be like, oh shit, Alan texted me 3 days ago. I gotta go back and get it.
The fact that you just called me Alan too is absolutely bananas.
Well, just because I see Alan on the blog all the time.
I get that.
And I think you're in my phone as Alan too.
Oh Jesus, take that out and put me in as Al. You, my girlfriend, and professors are the only people that call me Alan. We gotta change that.
Not even your parents?
No, they call me Al.
Nobody calls me Nicholas.
Yeah,
well, you know what? My grandma did when she got mad at me.
Nicholas, did you knock over the milk again?
Other than that, nobody calls me Nicholas.
I'm gonna call you. I'm calling you Nick, or I'm calling you Quags. It's one of those two. That's it.
It's okay.
That's it.
Dude, most people call me Quags. If it was like when I was in college, it was weird if anybody called me Nick or Nicholas. If you call me Nicholas, I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, seriously, get the hell out of
here. Get the hell away from me. But if you called me Nick in college, I was like, okay, this is weird. This is odd. You know who went to my college that I didn't really talk to much? That I didn't know at all?
Who's that?
Lauren.
Really?
Yeah, one of my very good friends now. No idea Lauren went to my school till after.
Wasn't she a couple years before you?
Yeah,
like graduate a couple years?
Yeah, I get. Yeah. Well, she might have been a senior when I was a freshman.
So therefore, she would have graduated before you.
Yes, that's. All right, let's get a weekly dump.
Nah.
Oh, come on.
All right, fine. Pew pew pew, weekly dump. Pew pew pew, Jared's not here. Pew pew pew. Don't make fun of me. Pew pew pew.
So Brothers Osborne, who I love, I'm a huge Brothers Osborne fan. Very underrated country music band. Love country music. Brothers Osborne, badass. Had themselves a big-time tech issue during the middle of their halftime show during Thanksgiving's Lions versus Bears game. The power cut out of them right before the top, but they kept it rolling, and the power came back on. The Ravens took over the AFC number 1 seed after beating the 49ers on a last-second field goal by Justin Tucker on Sunday, knocking the Patriots down to the 2 seed following their loss. And let me tell you, am I a Patriots fan? Yeah, of course. I like the Patriots. I prefer when they win. But during these tough times, it's not horrible because there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and I don't have to think too hard.
Yeah. It's not great when they're winning all the time because then there's like 2 topics to talk about.
Man.
Now we're going to talk about everything.
So I mentioned it on the show a lot, so the people who listen every week, they know. I host a show for CLNS Media, the Patriots Roundtable. And when they were undefeated for the first, was it 8 weeks?
Yeah, 8 weeks. Yep.
The first 8 weeks, it got so hard to come up with topics because, like, what can you do every week? You have to find, and, like, you sound like an idiot trying to find flaws in an undefeated team. Now, the number 1 flaw is always Marshall Newhouse.
Yes. The rotating door. Quags, you didn't want to talk about, Sam Darnold seeing ghosts over and over again, or Baker Mayfield throwing it directly to Lawrence Guy? That doesn't get old to talk about?
And no, those people are the worst too. The people who in the comments like, oh, the team is 10-2. How come you're being so negative? Because there's shit to talk about, especially right now. And a lot of these people, you see a lot of these people online too, who are just upset about people being negative about the Patriots. They're like, people would kill to have a 10-2 record. Okay, yeah, sure, but there are clear problems with this team that we're going to talk about. There are clear issues. So you have to talk about it. You just do it.
The funniest part is that my co-host for my podcast, Legends Lingo, Fiesta, said at the beginning of the year they were going to go 15-1. Fiesta, that's his nickname. I swear, it was his college nickname.
Okay.
When you come back on, and you know you're going to come back on at some point, you're going to have a blast with them.
Yes, I haven't gotten an invite. You've been on more than I've been on that show.
That is false, because I invited you this week to come on. I did invite you.
Yeah, but with my texting habits, you got to follow up.
This is true. We'll have you on next week. You can come on next week with us, all right?
Okay. Text me.
But anyway,
I'm going to forget.
And I'll text you on Monday and Tuesday. I'm going to set an alarm. I'm going to set an alarm every 2 hours, and it's going to say, text Nick Quaglia about coming on. Text Nick Quaglia about coming on. And I'm just going to keep texting you every 2 hours. But on a serious note, Fiesta said that the Patriots were going to go 15-1, 16-0. I said, you are nuts. This team is going to have a couple bad games, which we will talk about later on in the podcast.
Yeah, we'll get into especially the rest of the schedule, because it's not looking good. All right, Freddie Kitchens continues to look like an absolute moron after wearing a Cleveland started it shirt. Or Pittsburgh started it?
Yeah, Pittsburgh started it.
I wrote Cleveland. Sure, before their game this weekend. Freddie Kitchens, I am so excited for this guy to get fired.
Oh, he's done. No shot he's staying after this year.
This Cleveland team, it is
gross.
Pathetic that they are this bad. They have so much talent on that team.
Did you hear about Odell?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've got 2 of the best running backs in football on that team.
Yep.
Kareem Hunt, by the way, he was suspended for the first 10 weeks. I think everybody forgot how good he was, especially me, because the first run that I saw, he's one of those guys that the second he gets the ball, he's full speed. And his first handoff that I watched, I was like, holy shit, this guy is fast.
I saw him and I was like, wait a minute. This dude played in the NFL and he was elite. He wasn't just a good running back. He was elite.
Unreal. The Red Sox named 5 former players and executives who were going to be inducted into the Red Sox Hall of Fame in 2020. We got the duo of Big Papi and Manny Ramirez being inducted together, and then also Dan Duquette, former GM, who a lot of people credit with the 2004 World Series. Deion Sanders guarantees help is on the way for the Patriots, while at the same time not sounding confident at all, especially due to the fact that he had to be reminded that the trade deadline already passed.
Friggin' Deion, primetime.
Dude, suit up Deion. I'm all in for Deion being on the Patriots.
I would love primetime to come back right now. Anybody that can create separation.
I'm actually terrified that if there is somebody who comes through those doors, it's going to be Des Bryant.
Well, that can be a discussion topic because I got some thoughts on that.
Okay. People forget Des Bryant came back last year for the Saints,
And
immediately blew out his Achilles.
First practice, I think.
Yeah, within it felt like 2 seconds. It was honestly sad. The Red Sox lost a massive piece of the organization with Vice President of Pitching Development Brian Bannister being signed by the San Francisco Giants in order to become their director of pitching. Tim Ryan is being dragged for a quote about Lamar Jackson. Regardless of your opinion on this, here's the thing. I'll read it. I'll read it first. Here's the quote. He's talking about Lamar Jackson here. He's really good at that fake Lamar Jackson, but when you consider his dark skin with a dark football with a dark uniform, you could not see that thing. Ryan said on air, according to the San Francisco Chronicle. I mean, you literally could not see when he was in and out of that mesh point, and if you're a half step slow on him in terms of your vision, forget about it. He's out of the gate. So he got suspended for it. He didn't get fired. He got suspended. And here's the thing. Whether or not you're on the side that you don't think that's that bad of a quote, whether or not you're on the Mark Ingram side who is just trashing him on Twitter, calling him a clown, you can't say that type. You have to know that you cannot say that type of thing in 2019.
Yeah.
Whether or not you think it's right or wrong, you can't. You gotta be smarter than that.
How many days before it's 2020? Like 20, 26, 27?
26 days. It's December 5th.
Yeah, we're going to be in a new decade. In the new decade, you can't say that stuff. Because guess what? You say anything like that, you're going to be out of a job in the drop of a hat.
It's a stupid. It was such a dumb thing to say.
He's an idiot.
You have to know. You have to know. You cannot. You can't even consider saying something like that. Stay away from skin color altogether.
I mean, did you not learn from Brandon Todman? Granted, that was a little bit of a different situation, but have you not learned that anything you say, whether you're highly intoxicated or sober as can be, can lead you to losing your career? Do people not understand that?
It's just like, again, regardless of what you feel about the situation, because I've seen mixed reactions on Twitter, the guy is, I think we should all just agree, the guy is dumb as fuck for even having, or for saying that opinion on the air. Because you were going to be dragged for that. I think he said it in San Francisco, a very liberal place.
Talk about being a shitty human being too, for even having the cojones to say that. Like, are you kidding me?
And speaking of human beings who questionable character, Antonio Brown posted an Instagram post today with the caption, "Miss you, big bro," which was with that picture of him and Tom Brady. And we record Thursday, December 5th. There was the picture of him and Tom Brady from when Antonio Brown was living in his house the week that the Patriots signed him originally. So that was the weekly dump. And guys, before we go on, I got to tell you, part of today's show is brought to you by Seated, a restaurant app that you guys need in your life. Here's a little description via Nate Erickson of Esquire. Seated is a restaurant app, and it's phenomenal. That was my opinion. Takes everything great about the feeling of locking down a reservation at your favorite spot and adds a little something extra on top. Money back up to 30%. You idiots love money. Keep your money and go out to eat just for eating out. I'll repeat, the Seated app wants you to pay, wants to pay you for a food-loving person actual money for simply going out to eat. Yes, it's really that simple. All you have to do is get started, is download the app. From here, find an available reservation in your city, eat, obviously, and after you finish your meal, upload a photo of the receipt into the app to verify how much you spent. Within 24 hours, you'll receive a reward code for up to 30% of your meal cost through the app that you can use towards things like Lyft, credits, money in your Amazon account, or funding your caffeine addiction at Starbucks. Grab the link in our description on our YouTube page, SoundCloud, or iTunes, and while you're at it, rate and subscribe and hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel as well. Guys, it's ridiculously easy. If you guys are going out to eat in Boston, they use it in a bunch of big cities. It's semi-new to Boston. If you're going out to eat in Boston, just use this link, and you guys can reserve it. Sign up when you use the link, and you guys have 30 days to then use that same link. Use the app now after sign up to reserve your table. It's that easy, and you guys get up to 30% back on the check. It's so simple. It's so stupid. If you love going out to eat, get it. The Seated app. Again, link in the description on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube.
Sounds like a great deal to me.
It's phenomenal. It really is. Again, I love going out to eat. If you do not use this, you're being dumb. All right, Red Sox offseason, and this is perfect. We got Al on the show for this. So per Jeff Passan, this is the big news of the week. So obviously, the news surrounding the Red Sox all offseason after Chaim Bloom got hired. What are they going to do with Mookie Betts? Mookie Betts, 1 year left on his deal, becomes a free agent after the 2020 season. And the Red Sox have made it known that their number one goal this offseason is to get below that $208 million luxury tax threshold. They have a lot they're going to have to do that. And there's also some wrenches in the plan. So, for example, I wrote about this a few weeks ago on CLNS. If Dustin Pedroia decides not to retire, that's $13 million on the books. If he does retire, it's gone. It doesn't count. But if he decides to come back, they're not trading Dustin Pedroia. They're not going to cut Dustin Pedroia. He's going to be your second baseman if he's healthy. So that's $13 million that they're going to have to worry about. So now that the Red Sox, per Jeff Passan, are unlikely to trade Mookie Betts, they're apparently going to be looking for a deal to trade away David Price, who's $31 million a year, or Nathan Eovaldi, who's coming off of the first year of his new 4-year deal that's worth $16.88 million per year. So, I mean, first of all, I knew seeing what came with Nathan Eovaldi was the most obvious thing in the world. Everybody did it after the Red Sox won the World Series in 2018 now. Nathan Eovaldi, balls to the wall in the postseason. He was electric. He threw that memorable game against the Dodgers where he just put the team on his back and gave them every opportunity to essentially sweep the Dodgers in the end.
Which they should have. If you
they should have.
Frickin' Ian Kinsler.
Yeah, Ian Kinsler, Yasiel Puig. But you knew the recency bias was going to get him a deal. You knew that was going to happen. Between him and Joe Kelly, I was petrified. And the recency bias affected me with Joe Kelly. I was all in on bringing Joe Kelly back. But Nathan Eovaldi, I was only going to bring him back if you were going to make him your closer because you needed him You needed a closer. I thought Nathan Eovaldi would be a fine closer. The guy's had 2 Tommy John surgeries, $16.88 million a year on a pitching staff that already has $31 million in David Price, and now Chris Sale, who's about $29 million a year.
Right.
You have to, if you're going to trade one of those guys. I think you should. I think you almost have to. David Price or Nathan Eovaldi. Who do you pick?
I'm picking David Price because here's the thing: you're not going to get anything for Eovaldi right now because Eovaldi was injured last year. He has proven in the past.
He's been injured his entire career,
and that's what I was just right. And that's what I was just about to say, Quags. He's been notorious for getting injured throughout his entire career. And the point that you just brought up about bringing them, potentially having Eovaldi sign as a closer, wouldn't that worry you more, considering sometimes closers are going out 2 days in a row, or sometimes in a week they'll pitch like 4 times in a week?
No, because of the amount of innings. If they just do 1 inning a night, maybe 2 nights, maybe a couple times a week, 3-4 times a week, I'm absolutely okay with that.
You can look at it.
You're not going to be paying him $16.88 as a closer. If he was going to be your closer, you'd probably get him more at maybe $13-12, which I'd be okay with. But $16.88 for a guy who, once he came back from injury, sucked, was horrific. Like, I don't think he's worth it. But then again, David Price semi screwed the Red Sox for that with opting back in on the deal, which I didn't think he was going to do.
So to go back to your question, you're going to have to probably move Price because you're going to get more for Price, first of all. Because think about this. If he doesn't get injured last year in 2019, Quags, he's probably going to be an all-star. With the way he was pitching
he was
the first couple months.
He was the only guy who was pitching consistently at the time.
Yes, exactly. So he was going to be a 2019 all-star. You saw what happened in 2018, the second half of the year, and the postseason run. This guy was turning a corner. He finally got the demons out of pitching in Boston, not being able to pitch in the postseason. So obviously, you're going to get more for this guy. And honestly, the contract itself, you're shedding $31 million off the books.
It's a mess. But here's the thing, though. You know, if you do trade David Price, you're going to have to eat some of the money. You're going to have to still pay some of the money. It's going to be a public situation.
Yeah, you're going to pay probably at least half, if not up to like $20 million.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to – here's the thing. 2012, the Red Sox got very, very, very lucky that the Dodgers took on Adrian Gonzalez and Carl Crawford. Incredible that they took Carl Crawford. Insane. Makes no sense.
That might have been one of the all-time magic acts done by Red Sox ownership to get Carl Crawford's awful contract. And I will come out and say with Crawford's contract, I was happy when he originally signed because I saw what he
How
did.
could you not be?
Exactly, especially for what he did against the Red Sox. Now you get him in a Red Sox uniform with Gonzalez and all that talent they had or were supposed to have in 2011. Like, it just made too much sense. But then when obviously he started sucking, it was great that somebody took him.
He couldn't handle Boston. That's what it came down to.
No, and you shipped him across the country, which was perfect.
Yeah, you literally sent him as far away as you could.
Good memories on the Couch Guy Sports Podcast. Great memories.
But David Price, I mean, I have a tough time. I have a tough time believing if I had to choose one of the two, I would send away Nathan Eovaldi.
But who do you think they're going to? Is the question.
If they're gonna trade one, it's an easier sell on David Price. Absolutely. Because you still have. I always say this. People are always like, who are you gonna get to take on like so and so, take on this contract? There's always somebody dumb enough to do it. Always. People are always like with Pablo Sandoval. I thought, okay, why don't we try to trade him away? The Red Sox never really went after that option, but a lot of people are like, who the hell is going to take on this load, this fat load, who's always hurt, who's wolfing down Chinese food, liking girls' pictures on Instagram in the bathroom during the middle of Red Sox games,
and then getting exposed by a Barstool personality for it and making it front page news.
Somehow gaining weight during a 162 game season. How are you going to trade him away? And my thought was, look, there's always somebody who's going to be stupid enough to make those kind of deals. There is. Whether or not you have to eat some salary, whatever, there's somebody who's going to be dumb enough to make those deals. I mean, look at the Red Sox for signing Pablo Sandoval. You could not think Pablo Sandoval was going to be worth that 5-year contract. The guy was huge when you signed him. You could not think that he was going to be viable enough to play at Fenway Park, where the second things go wrong, the Fenway fans are going to rip him apart.
It's not that I thought Sandoval was going to be successful in Boston. I think it was that the third base production from the Red Sox the season before was so bad, and we were used to seeing guys like Will Middlebrooks there, who struggled as it is. Anybody was an upgrade at third base. So when you had Sandoval coming off of his run in San Francisco,
well, Middlebrooks Middlebrooks the year before.
Say that again.
Right? Wasn't the year before the last year Will Middlebrooks?
Yeah, I think that was the year. Wasn't that the year they won the World Series? 13, right?
I thought Pablo signed on in 2015.
I think no, you're right. You're right. Yep, he did sign in 15.
So okay. Will Middlebrooks had that. Will Middlebrooks had that really bad year in 2014, if I remember right. Will Middlebrooks, huge disappointment because when that guy was a rookie, he was a stud. Everybody's like, hell yeah, we got this guy, Will Middlebrooks. He's young. He's going to be a stud. Then he had to get into a relationship with Jenny Dell. Then he just had to not be good at baseball anymore.
But then he gets married to Jenny Dell, so who really won in that situation?
Yeah, and he got a World Series ring. No ill will at all towards Will Middlebrooks. No pun intended.
You clever guy.
It's so fucking stupid. But no, the easier sell is going to be David Price because you can sell him on the veteran leadership because regardless of what the media thinks about him, you hear all the time from his former teammates, this guy is huge in the locker room. His teammates love him. He's a former Cy Young pitcher. And like you said, before he got hurt last year, he was a solid arm, and he was the most consistent guy on the staff. So if you're going to trade one of these guys, I would like to trade Nathan Eovaldi because I don't think he's going to work out. I really don't think Nathan Eovaldi is going to work out at all because as much as people don't want to admit it, he wasn't that good in the regular season when the Red Sox got him. He started off hot, fell down a little bit, had a really good postseason. Dave Dombrowski was like, hey, here, 17 mil. Bah! Throw it at him. Bah! And he took it, of course, because why would he not? He's not going to get that anywhere else.
No,
David Price
is
going to be the easier sell. He's just going to be. He's been hurt a little bit, but his injuries aren't horrific like 2 Tommy John surgeries.
But so I have a comment and then a hypothetical for you. So my comment is,
yeah, Al in the back.
Yes, right here.
Yep.
Yes, Al Nahigian.
You got it.
Yes, Couch Guy Sports podcast. So here's my comment. The thing with Eovaldi, and this is such a small thing that nobody thinks about, but a baseball nerd like me, and I'm pretty sure you might have had a thought of this at one time or another. You get rid of Eovaldi, you're going to risk having all lefties in the rotation. I know
Yeah, but at the same time, you need guys who are just going to be productive regardless. Like,
no, I know. Like I said,
don't care about the arms at this point.
no, I know. Like I said, it's the baseball nerd trying to balance it out, but I don't know. Anyways, here's a hypothetical for you. The Mookie Betts news, right? Do you think that at all it could be a smokescreen and they're really trying to still trade Mookie Betts behind closed doors?
At this point, I don't know if they could trade Mookie Betts. I bet you if they got the right deal. Here's the thing with the deal. If they're going to trade Mookie Betts, it's going to be a massive deal because you're not going to trade Mookie Betts for pennies. Like, you don't have to make this deal.
You don't have to.
Right now, it's estimated to make what, $27 million in arbitration?
Something like that. I'm not good with the numbers in
He's
arbitration.
going to be a pretty penny. So that's another reason why, if you're going to trade one of the two, you should probably trade David Price because $31 million. I think it was David Price. I really don't think the Red Sox thought he was going to pick up that second half of the deal. I really don't think they did.
Speaking of pennies, did you see the hypothetical on Twitter the other day of a Mookie Betts deal of him potentially going to the Cardinals? Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
That was so dumb. So I was doing clinics for the travel baseball program I work in, and this 12-year-old kid, as we're doing a hitting program, comes up to me and says, "Coach Al, did you hear the Red Sox traded Mookie Betts?" And I was like, wait a minute.
Put him in a bucket?
I wish I wanted to, but I like the kids. I can't do that.
Bucket.
Well, legally. But legally I wish I could. But no. So I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense because I just got a text from my buddy Fiesta saying the Red Sox don't want to trade him. So how could that happen? I look at my phone for a second while they're picking up baseballs. I see the actual trade. I look at him. I go, first of all, you're a dummy because that actually didn't happen. Okay, that's number one. And number two,
he's 12.
Yes, I know, but I still call him a dummy. I don't care.
No, I can't decipher. He's going to read Red Sox trade. He's like, oh, Red Sox trade.
He's like, oh my God, Red Sox made a trade. And I'm like, Jay, did you read this? And he's like, no, they didn't trade him, buddy. This is just a hypothetical. He's like, oh. And then I'm like, and I'm saying to myself, and I'm burning up inside. I'm like, you son of a gun. Don't ever do that to me again. But the point I'm trying to make is a trade like that, if you see that kind of trade for Mookie Betts, who was an American League MVP, a Gold Glove caliber outfielder, don't you think that you would get slighted in that trade?
Yes.
It was horrible. That trade was awful.
With a Mookie Betts trade, you have to be blown away by it. I know you almost have to do it. You almost have to trade away Mookie but it has to be the right deal. Like, Chaim Bloom can't just look at a deal with a couple of guys thrown in, and like maybe Yasiel Puig, and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Bring him in. Yeah, send the trade away with his really deep voice. You can't do it. It has to be a great trade. But at the same time, I've never been against trading Mookie. I love Mookie. I would love him to be part of the Red Sox forever, but realistically, it probably won't happen. I have people I've said this on the show before. I don't know how reliable this is, but I have been told by person who's relatively close to the situation that Mookie's number one team that he wants to play for is the Atlanta Braves because it's close to home.
Which would make sense. And it's funny
he's not a Boston guy. He never has been.
Oh, no. It's funny you say that because Jared and I on Into the Triangle have been saying pretty much the whole offseason you need to trade Mookie Betts because if he expresses no desire to re-sign long-term, why are you going to let him play out the 2020 season and then just walk for free?
You're going to get nothing out of him. Like you should get something out of him.
That would be an all-time L. That would be the hugest L in recent memory for the Red Sox organization. You can't let that happen. Either trade him or get the extension done before, I'd say even before winter weekend. Get it done.
Now, if you don't, if there's an extension done, like I'm not going to cry about it. I don't care if the Red Sox spend money. I really don't. I think they should be spending money, but it's just clear. It's realistic. One of my least favorite arguments that I hear is, oh, but the Red Sox have plenty of money. Why don't they just pay them? Because that's not up to us. Sorry, guys. That's not up to us. If the Red Sox want to get below $208 million, guess what? They get to choose that. It's their money. So I'm not going to sit here and talk about, oh, why don't the Red Sox spend money? It's their decision. They get to make that decision. So if they decide that, guess what I'm going to talk about? I'm going to talk about what the Red Sox are going to do to get under that number because that's their goal. And I love Chaim Bloom. I'm excited for Chaim Bloom. He's never had this much money in his life to spend. But I'm very interested to seeing what he's going to do. One of those moves could be Jackie Bradley Jr. in a trade.
Please.
If Mookie Betts is here, you trade Jackie.
If you have heard me on any podcast, whether it's my own podcast, making guest appearances on here, or whatever other podcasts I've been a guest on before, everybody in the world knows how much I hate Jackie Bradley Jr. So you know what? If you can, I hate him. I will admit I hate him. So you know what? If you can send Jackie Bradley Jr. on the first plane out of here, get him out of here. I love him in the outfield. We all know how great he is in the outfield. Gold Glove caliber center fielder. But you know what? The inconsistencies at the plate, I can't stand it anymore, Quags. I can't stand it anymore.
Really, it's unbearable at points because he gets so streaky. But every start of the season, and
yes,
already start writing the stories. I want to see all the Red Sox beat writers, I guess, including me, start writing the story. Oh, Jackie Bradley, he changed his swing this offseason. Jackie Bradley, he's getting settled. Oh wow, hits a home run.
Worked with JD Martinez.
Yeah, hits a home run in spring training. Oh wow, that new adjustment in his swing, that's really working. Every single February we hear the same story. Every single February, and then he comes out in April and he hits for like 110.
Yep.
Without question.
You're getting me upset about baseball season already. I don't like this.
Okay, all right, we will move on. But guys, I mean, before we do that, am I stalling so I can pull it up? Yeah. Support for CouchGuysSports.com and the Couch Guys Sports Podcast comes from Manscaped, who's the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. And not only below the belt, but also for the chest area. If you shave your arms, if you're a swimmer, get it. It's stupid if you don't. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Guys, we've all had issues before with a little grooming, with a little manscaping. When you've nicked something that you didn't necessarily want to nick. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. Their Lawnmower 2.0 has proprietary skin-safe technology, so this trimmer won't nick or snag your nuts. You know how bad that sounds?
It's not great. It's very unpleasant.
No, it's not at all. If you do that, I know women are going to understand. The women who watch this podcast, let me tell you, nicking it hurts. It sucks. This for the video, Lawnmower 2.0. Our friends at Manscaped, they sent me this, and it's incredible. It's the best. You can shave your chest. I got hair all the way up my neck. I got to shave down my neck area. It works for everything, and it's so quiet. Even if I turn it on, you can barely hear it. It's got a grip, too, so you don't lose it in the shower. Phenomenal product. Guys, manscaping accidents, they're finally a thing of the past, and don't use the same trimmer on your face as you use on your balls. Don't be animals. That's disgusting. Manscaped also has the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer, which may I say, incredible. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why are you not putting them on the smelliest part of your body? All right, here's the deal. So this is where you listen. Get 20% off free shipping with the code CouchGuy at manscaped.com. Always use the right tools for the job. Your balls are going to thank you. Your balls, they're going to thank you. Get 20% off again and free shipping with the code CouchGuy at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Again, use code CouchGuy. I've had some people. We've actually already had a bunch of people order them with this code, which is great, guys. All order it helps the show. Not only helps the show, but it's going to help you guys too. It's a phenomenal product, phenomenal company. You guys check out their website. It's very funny. It's awesome. May not work if you use all caps, we've discovered. So if you type in the code CouchGuy, all one word, do it all lowercase. Again, get 20% off and free shipping with the code CouchGuy at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. And use promo code CouchGuy, all one word, and try lowercase. I think that's actually going to work.
And punch in that code. Punch it in. This is a great deal. You'd be foolish
not to
punch the
shit out of it. Punch the hell out of the code. And they send me so much. I'm telling you guys, get it. It's incredible. Manscaped.com, supporting the Couch Guys Sports Podcast. All right, so we don't have too much longer in the show here, but we got to talk about the Patriots and their issues.
Yikes.
The Patriots got some problems. Some big-time problems, which, again, I don't hate.
No, Quags, they don't have some problems. They have a lot of problems. Where do we begin?
I mean, you can start with one, Thomas Edward Brady.
Which... Can we talk about the people that are defending Brady? Did you watch Felger and Maz the other day?
I mean, I listen a lot. I don't know.
Did you hear Greg Bedard trying to defend every pass that Brady was getting blamed for? Can I just give me 1 second on that? Because you know what? I understand that everybody loves Tom Brady. We get he's a 6-time Super Bowl champion. We get that he's the greatest thing that happened to this Patriots organization.
But college happened to Boston sports.
Yes. Fair.
The greatest of all time. Not even a question.
But call it spade of spade. When he sucks, he sucks. Granted, is it a little bit maybe the receiver's fault for not running the routes correctly? Sure. But he's still missing throws when he has time. Like, give me a break. Sorry to cut you off, but go ahead.
No, cut me off whenever you need to. I'm telling you, I gas myself. I'm like a dog who gets too excited and then I just get tired. I gas my throat.
Down, boy. No. Down.
But you're right. Like, there are so many people who just refuse. I see people all over Twitter who posting statistics and all that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but Tom Brady throws this pass, it doesn't. The percentage goes up, blah, 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 blah. Tom Brady has not been good. Use the eye test. That's all it counts. You know, it's the same. It's almost the same people who just consistently defended the Celtics last year. Oh, but if you look at the Celtics stats here, this shows that they're actually playing well. They're just catching bad breaks. No, in the end, guess what? The Celtics and Kyrie Irving, they both sucked last year. Brady has not been good. And part of the problem, I know a lot of people are like, they're blaming Philip Dorsett for not going out for the corner throw where he bombed it downfield to the 5 and nobody was in the area. I think that was Philip Dorsett. Okay, but is that not part of Tom Brady? Look, Tom Brady's a 42-year-old veteran. He should be bringing these guys along. Guess what? Part of it's on him for not having chemistry with these receivers, especially the rookies.
Yes. And so the funny part is, after the Texans game, did you see his stat line? What it actually was?
It was pretty good, right?
It was 24 for 47, 326 yards, 3 TDs and an interception. That's a pretty good game. But what people don't understand is
garbage time at the end.
Yes, it was garbage time, fantasy point stacking stats. That's what it was.
The year I won my fantasy football league was Blake Bortles' year where he would just only get garbage time touchdowns. It was incredible. Yes. He go into the fourth quarter with 3 points, end with 40.
So let me say this, because I was watching this game at home. Didn't you feel like that first drive when they went right down the field on the Texans? They were running the ball. You had Michelle, you had White. They cruised right down the field, and then they kick a field goal. But before they kicked that field goal, didn't you think to yourself for a second, maybe this Patriots offense is back?
Yeah, maybe they're clicking. And it was weird because once they got into the red zone, they ran it on first down and then just didn't run it again. That was working the entire way. Isaiah Wynn has really helped improve this offensive line like we knew, like we expected that he would. But Brady, I think he's not getting enough flack from people when it comes to the chemistry with especially the rookies, because whether or not he wants to pout and moan, and I'm tired of that too. I'm tired of like sad, moany Tom Brady. Like, put it on your shoulders. This is your thing. You're a leader, okay? You've been known throughout your entire career to be as being one of the best leaders in football. You got to take these guys under your wing. You got to stop moping. I don't care that you didn't get the toys that you wanted. Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, okay, they didn't give you the toys that you wanted. Doesn't mean you pout. Utilize these tools. Help Jacoby Myers get better. Help Jacoby Myers gain chemistry with you and know to go out another 10 steps and catch that ball instead of cutting back in. Work with N'Keal Harry. He's only been in a couple games. I like N'Keal Harry a lot. Regardless, I've seen a lot of people shitting on N'Keal Harry for not preventing that interception that Tom Brady threw. Brady threw it there.
I was just about to ask you, who do you blame for that interception? Do you blame it more on Brady or on Harry? Thank you.
Brady threw it there.
Thank you. All you have to do is throw that ball a little bit more outside to Harry. Even if he gets batted down, that's fine. You take away that one interception. That's the difference between you potentially winning the game and you basically being out of it until the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter.
It is insane to me. And there are a lot of issues with the offense all around. Like, a big problem with the offense is receivers aren't getting separation. I know that, and Tom Brady can't help that. But the fact of the matter is he's missing open targets. He's not hitting guys in stride. He hasn't looked that good. But I don't think he's done by any means. I really don't.
He's not done. He's just struggling. Every quarterback struggles.
He's going through a slump right now, and he looks fine. Like, his footwork's still good. He doesn't have a noodle arm. Like, we remember Peyton Manning's last year in 2015.
Oh,
He
my
looked like he was
goodness.
done.
Now, that was the definition of a defense carrying his quarterback to a Super Bowl. Denver's defense made sure that Manning went out a winner because he was not winning. Manning was not winning it on his own. But with
Yeah.
Brady, it just seems like you say, he's pouting. It's not into it. And I'm going to put a bold prediction just right now. I'm going to say it. I think this is Brady's last year. I think he's done after this year.
See, I go back and forth with it because I agree with you. Last week I agreed with you. This week I don't. I think he's going to try to keep going. Now, it's a different question. Is this his last year with the Patriots?
Yes. I think this is his final season with the Pats.
Because he could go play somewhere else. I don't even know if he would do that. In which, by the way, I know everybody panicked about him selling his house in Brookline. They bought a house in Connecticut, so he's not far. He didn't go anywhere far unless he's going to play for the Giants. No, he's not doing that either. Sam Darnold's in New York. Daniel Jones, Danny Jones, Danny Dimes. He's with New York. Tom Brady, in reality, as it sits right now, and I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to try to stick with this for the rest of the year. I think he'll be back next year. I really do. Unless, if they win the Super Bowl and he wins Ring 7, I do think he's done. I think he's retired.
So here's what I'm going to say, because I've said this all along. I think after last year, winning 6, all-time winningest quarterback in the Super Bowl, I think he should have retired then. Now, granted, am I glad he's back this year? Obviously, yes. But it would have been better, not better, but it would have been more interesting to see if they could develop somebody or bring in a bridge quarterback. Maybe they could have brought in like a Teddy Bridgewater or something.
The word bridge just triggered you to Bridgewater.
Exactly. So if you brought in a guy like Teddy Bridgewater for a year or two to develop a guy like Stidham, because I'm on the train of saying that I think Stidham is going to fit in just fine in this Patriots offense when it's his turn to take over.
Yeah, I like Jarrett Stidham, but you never know at this point how long Brady's going to be around, which means how long is Jarrett Stidham going to sit and wait around? Like, you had the next guy in line, and I'm a Jimmy Garoppolo fan. I thought Jimmy was going to be the next quarterback, but Brady just did not stop winning. You won multiple Super Bowls since that whole situation. You won a Super Bowl and went to another Super Bowl since that whole situation happened with Garoppolo.
Yes.
The problems with the offense, the defense is fine. The defense is great. What's terrifying is you lost to the Texans this week, 28-22, and the Texans defense, Al, not fucking good.
Aren't they middle of the pack in both the run and the pass? I think they were like 15th and 16th, right around there in both.
Yeah, and the run game was looking fine. I don't know why they went away from the run game so much. And that 4th down play where they were 4th and a half yard, that shows you how little confidence they have in this offense when you don't run the sneak with Brady. That's his thing.
Sneak the hell out of that. And I was literally
the greatest of all time at that.
If you were with me, you would have heard me yelling, "Why do you not sneak the ball there?"
Now, granted, that's on Mohamed Sanu for dropping it. It hit him in the hands.
But if you saw the play too, he was pushed, so it should have been pass interference.
It should have been pass interference,
and then it should have been first down for the Patriots regardless.
Sanu should have caught that ball.
Yes, he should have caught the ball. I'm with you there. Agreed. Bad drop by Sanu. And I think the main thing that we have to sort of establish here, Quags, with the Patriots receivers is one thing. And Brady yelled about it on the bench. They're not creating separation.
There's none.
None. I think I saw a stat. The Patriots' speed, like wide receiver speed, is like 27th in the NFL. Something. It
doesn't shock me. Who's a speed demon on this roster?
Oh, nobody. Nobody. Who is your fastest receiver? Dorsett?
Probably.
Maybe?
I don't really know how fast Jacoby Myers is, but I know N'Keal Harry's not that quick.
No, he's just a big target. That's what Harry is. He's a red zone threat. We saw it in the Cowboys game with the only touchdown that Brady threw. Harry is that big receiver that can go up and get it, or you throw a back shoulder to him and he's going to get his defender out of the way. Granted, he didn't do it in Houston, but anyways, you get the point.
There's so many people who just want to blame the rookie receivers and want to go along with the storyline that, hey, and maybe this is true, Brady doesn't trust rookies. Brady doesn't trust the young guys. He wants these veteran targets. So if you bring in a guy like Antonio Brown back, which I don't know how you feel about Antonio Brown, but if you bring in a guy like Antonio Brown back, you have that weapon for him. But the fact of the matter is, people have to come to fucking terms with this. If the Patriots, if they want to win, if Tom Brady wants to win, he's going to have to get rid of that little issue that he has with throwing to young targets, with gaining chemistry with young targets, because that's 2/5 of your main 5 receivers. Yep. You got to get on the same page with those guys. You just have to. You have to.
So I'll say this about Antonio Brown. At this point in the season, just bring him back in. I mean, yes, you know the baggage that comes with him, but you know what? He's not around long enough. And I talked with Jerry Thornton about this when he came on the Legends Lingo podcast. And Jerry said it perfectly.
Former guest of this show. We love Jerry.
Jerry's the man. Old Balls Thornton. Antonio Brown was not around long enough to really see the dark side of him, complaining about not getting the ball when he's open, yada, yada. But I think if you brought him back, let's just say hypothetically he was brought back for the Cincinnati game. You bring him for week 15, 16, 17, AFC Divisional, AFC Championship, Super Bowl. What's that? A month and a half? If you're telling me you can't deal with him for a month and a half and actually give Brady a legit number 1 receiver, I love Edelman, but he can't even lift his arm up over his head.
No, his shoulders legitimately falling off his body.
Yes, he's like Woody from Toy Story. It's like hanging by a thread. Literally. But you bring him back, and the thing is, he knows a little bit of the offense. He was with the offense for a week and a half. He had to have learned 1 play, 2 plays. So why not bring him back?
And he's a smart receiver. He is notoriously one of the hardest working receivers in the NFL. He's got bad character. I think a lot of people are passing judgment already on these allegations against him, which we don't know. We don't know what happened. And I don't want to. He seems like a crazy motherfucker. But if he did these things that they're claiming, he should be in prison. I don't want him anywhere near this team. But if he didn't, you're keeping this guy to the NFL for something that he might have not done.
Yes, he wants to be in New England. He doesn't want to be anywhere else.
But again, if he did these things, and that's the tough part here, because you don't know. So if he did these things, then you don't touch him. And I think that's where a lot of people are coming from, where they're leaning more towards, okay, some people just believe that he flat out did it. But like for me, it's tough because I'm like, if there's the slightest possibility, which there is, that he did these things that these women are claiming, then I don't want him anywhere near this team. I don't want him in the NFL. He should be, again, in prison.
Yes, he should. But if he didn't do it,
it's tough. You got to hook him up to a lie detector. I don't know why they don't do that.
Yeah, make it like the Maury show where they just hook him up to the lie detector and then have Maury say, the results are in. It confirms.
I don't know why they don't. They just should.
That'd be awesome. And Antonio Brown being that character, especially all over social media, it'd be perfect.
He'd eat it up.
Oh, he would love it.
He'd eat it up.
He's probably not going to be back. Like, I'm on board saying I would love to have him back for the receiver, for the on-field production, but I don't think he's going to be back. So you know what? Like you said, Brady has to develop chemistry with N'Keal Harry, with Jacoby Myers, get back on the same page with Philip Dorsett like you were earlier on in the season. Edelman, you're fine. You don't have to worry about. And then establish the run game. You have 2 underrated running backs in Sony Michel and James White. They used James White, and he was effective. Use him more. I've been saying it for years. You got to use him more.
And they drafted Damian Harris. Like, does this guy just suck?
I guess he never gets used. Maybe he fumbles in practice. I don't know.
He's not. He just doesn't exist. He might not even be on the team anymore. I mean, he is, but he might not be. They might just keep him locked up.
Might be on the practice squad for all we know.
Him and Rex Burkhead together. Lock him up.
Rex Burkhead.
No, you know what? Better yet, lock Rex Burkhead up and then take Damian Harris, put him on the field. At this point, I want to see Damian Harris. I was excited about this kid. Alabama, I was excited to see this kid on the field.
Love it.
Hasn't even been touched. Or been briefly touched. All right. Couch Guys Sports Podcast, episode number 136. Guys, Seated app, use it. Again, link in the description. And Manscaped, the logo up in the corner, one of these corners. Haven't decided yet which one I'm going to put. Depends on the layout from this recording. Follow us on everything. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Couch Guys Sports and the Couch Guys Sports Podcast. Also on Twitter, and hit the subscribe button on YouTube. You guys are watching the videos. I can see that, but just subscribe to us. You get the video every week. What the hell are we doing here? Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And then Legends Lingo Podcast. Big Al, Thomas, is it Chowder?
Powder, but you were close.
Thomas Chowder, Thomas Powder, and Fiesta. Legends Lingo podcast. Maybe we got some news coming with that later on. I don't know, possibly. And then I think that's it. Couch Guys Sports Podcast, episode number 136. We're going to be back next week with, after 136, comes episode number 137. Rate and subscribe, guys. We're going to be back next week. Thanks for listening and watching.
See you guys.